What's one thing you secretly judge people for, even if it makes you a jerk? 1. People having more kids than they can afford. And I don't mean folks who had a stable setup and then got hit with hard times. I'm talking about someone who's already on social assistance, can barely pay rent, and then they announce they're expecting another baby. Yeah, I judge. Reply. And it's almost always the same people who are all over social media talking about how hard life is and how they can't afford anything. 2. When parents don't control their kids in public. I get that parenting is rough. The exhaustion, the mental burnout, all of it is real. But still, when a kid does that high-pitched screeching sound on repeat in public, it drives me nuts. Reply. I'm a parent too, and even I judge other parents when they just sit there zoned out while their kids run wild all over the place. 3. People who let their dogs bark nonstop. Like, all day and night. You live here too. Have some awareness. 4. Bad driving. I know I'm kind of being a jerk about it, since my driving isn't exactly perfect either. I've definitely sped or cut someone off before, and I think most people have. But for some reason when other people do it, it instantly feels worse. I think deep down we all believe our own mistakes are fine, and everyone else's are a problem. Reply. I don't mind bad driving too much. Not everyone's a natural, and some people just aren't gonna get it. I've been teaching people to drive for 20 years, and some folks pick it up fast, others never really catch on. Not everyone's built for the fast lane, and that's just reality. That said, I draw the line at people texting, driving drunk, or sitting in the fast lane when they're not even passing anyone. Those people need to take a long drive off a short pier. 5. People who buy dogs that shouldn't have even been bred. Like double merles, or those super fluffy Frenchies. I love all dogs, and it's not their fault at all, but we really failed them as a society. It's just sad. 6. Parents who are totally okay with their kids throwing a fit or being disruptive in public. I know not every situation is the same. Some kids have special needs. Some have behavioral struggles. I still catch myself judging though. When it happens, my first instinct is to feel annoyed. 7. People who don't even try to spell things right or use basic punctuation. It immediately makes you look clueless, and I start questioning everything you're saying. Like, come on, there's autocorrect on everything now. And when they hit you with, well, you understood what I meant, that just makes it worse. If anything, that makes me think you're even more of an idiot. At least pretend to be a grown-up. 8. Someone who's just genuinely a terrible student. Like, we're talking consistent scores under 20% on tests. I had this one classmate who always fell asleep in class and straight up admitted to staying up until 3 or 4 in the morning. During lessons, they barely paid attention, asked the same question 3 or 4 times, and on every test, they'd get around 10 to 20%. 9. When parents let their kids sit on nasty public floors or sidewalks, it actually makes me feel sick. I've literally seen people spit on those same spots, or straight up pee there, and little Tommy is down there licking his fingers after touching all that. Just gross. 10. When someone says something like, that's not very godly, or comments on someone's actions not being Christian enough. Like, alright Karen, not everyone is a Christian. Calm down. 11. Mouth breathers. That's it. That's the whole thing. It just bothers me. 12. People who treat drinking like it's their entire personality. Like, if you want to go out and have drinks now and then with friends, cool. But when it's every single time we hang out, and getting drunk is the only thing on your mind, that's too much. You can't even have a real conversation with them, unless they've had a drink or two. Makes you wonder if you're ever even talking to the real version of them. Reply. Yeah. I've had to face the fact that some people I thought were my closest friends were really just drinking buddies. Nothing more. 13. When someone doesn't read anything outside of texts or social media. Reply. And the ones who actually brag about it, like, I haven't read a book since high school, like it's something impressive. I get that not everyone is into reading the way I am, but how can you be proud of not picking up a book in over 20 years? It's just weird to me. 14. People being totally uneducated in 2025 just baffles me. Like, everyone walks around with a phone in their pocket that can answer literally anything, and you still just blindly believe random stuff you hear without checking? Even most people dealing with homelessness have smartphones. It just makes me feel like the person has no basic common sense. I don't know, maybe that makes me sound elitist, but come on. Reply. I work in retail, and it shocks me how often people ask the dumbest questions when they could have figured it out themselves in 5 seconds with a quick search. 15. Constantly using bad grammar. I'm not talking about the occasional typo, everyone makes those, but always? Nah. If you're still watching, means you're enjoying the stories. Subscribe so you can look forward to more stories like these. Now on to 16. People who just let their dogs bark non-stop. Not for a minute or two, but for long stretches, without doing anything about it. 17. When I see someone with more than 4 kids, I can't help but judge. Hardly anyone can raise that many kids properly, and even the ones who try usually end up stretched too thin to be decent parents. 18. I get weird about people who are super close with their families, like overly affectionate and always together. Probably because I never had that, and it just feels strange to me. Also, men with long fingernails. I don't know why, but it puts me off every time. And cigarette smokers. You smell gross. That's all I've got. 19. People who expect me to be obsessed with their dog. Like, no, I don't want it jumping on me or licking me. Keep it away from my leg. 20. People who still believe in religion. Reply. I used to be one of them until a few years ago. Now I look back and can't believe I ever bought into it. It's actually wild to realize the stuff people truly believe in that world. And I used to be all in. 21. People who wear loud political shirts just to stir up drama. It's like they're begging someone to fight them over it. 22. When someone says they hate all animals. Not like they prefer dogs over cats. I mean people who say they hate every animal. I know I shouldn't judge, but that kind of thing just screams. Something's really off with you. 23. Women with those giant fake eyelashes that look like they're about to take flight. You honestly look so much better without them, but no one will tell you. 24. People who never take responsibility for anything they do wrong. It's like the new version of maturity is blaming someone else and never admitting your part. And then the person who actually didn't do anything wrong is expected to just take the fall for the sake of keeping peace. 25. Dirty shoes and gross fingernails. You don't have to be rich or dressed up, but at least be clean. 26. When someone wears clothes that do nothing but highlight how overweight they are. I don't care if someone's fat, but why skin-tight leggings and a crop top when everything's hanging out? Reply. I'll take it even further. I silently judge fat people. Last week I was on a short flight, just an hour long, and I watched this woman crush a full Chick-fil-A meal, a bag of Swedish fish, and then go through 6 lollipops. I honestly wanted to look at her and ask, what the fruck is wrong with you? 27. When someone is obsessed with astrology and makes their star sign their entire personality. Like every little thing they do is because I'm such a Virgo, or that's just my Scorpio rising. It gets old real quick. 28. The contradiction of people loving their pets to death but having no issue eating other animals. Like cuddling their dog while chomping on a chicken sandwich. Makes no sense to me. 29. I honestly think religious people have no right telling anyone else how to live or feel. They don't live in reality, and their intelligence is honestly embarrassing. Even the ones with a wall full of degrees. They are a huge problem for humanity, and have done nothing but spread hate and division. Every religion should just be thrown out. Forever. 30. I'll definitely catch hate for this, but that thick, small-town Massachusetts accent makes me want to run. I associate it with so many negative things, like being rude, constantly swearing, and just having no filter. 31. People who put pineapple on pizza. Reply. That's actually my favorite topping, especially with ham. 32. I know this probably makes me a bad person, but people who are morbidly obese really make me judge. I'm curvy too, so it's not like I don't get it. I'm talking about the ones who can barely walk, whose stomach hangs to their knees. That show about 600 pounds life actually disgusts me. Some people might have real medical reasons, and I try to remember that. But my mom was like 400 or 500 pounds. She'd get drunk or high, then pass out on the floor and no one could lift her, even if there were multiple people. She looked like a beached whale, and instead of trying to fix it, she just kept eating more crap and complaining about her life. So yeah, I understand how people get there, but I still silently judge. I'd never say anything to anyone directly though. 33. When parents let their kids walk around with dirty clothes and messy hair. I used to hate when my dad made me get dressed and fix my hair, saying it made him look bad if I didn't. Back then I didn't get it, but now I totally do. I find myself judging parents hard, especially when they look clean and put together while their kid looks like they haven't seen a comb in a week. 34. Women who only read smut. I'm talking about 300-page books with nothing but fairy segs and no real story. And then they turn around and have a problem with their boyfriend watching porn. Make it make sense. 35. Bad teeth. I get it, sometimes people can't help it. But still, it just grosses me out. Seeing someone with rotting teeth or a full mouth of decay is something I can't unsee. I don't want to be anywhere near their breath. 36. When people don't even try to park between the lines, I instantly wonder what the hell is going on in their brain. I don't know their situation, but I'd love to meet whoever thought it was okay to hand them a driver's license. 37. I always notice people's fingernails. If they're dirty, I get the urge to gag a little. I know. Some jobs stain your hands, and it's not always fair to judge. But still, there's a gut-level reaction I can't shut off no matter how much I try to be understanding. 38. White socks with black shoes. I can't even explain it. It's not a crime or anything, but every time I see it, it throws my whole brain off like something is just deeply wrong. 39. When people won't shut up about their grandkids and all the adorable little things they do, I check out mentally after like 5 seconds. I'm not a grandparent, probably never will be, and I swear they could be describing the invention of fire and I'd still be bored. 40. Sometimes when I'm in the checkout line at the grocery store, I'll glance over and judge what people are buying. I'm shocked at how much money goes into soda and microwave crap. Like, you're just burning your budget for the week on garbage. 41. I try not to judge, but I totally do when someone keeps picking the worst possible people to date. You can see the red flags from space, and then when it crashes and burns, they act surprised. Come on, we all saw that shit coming. 42. I side-eye people who wear a watch but still pull out their phone to check the time. I get it. Maybe the watch is just for the outfit. But it's wild to me. Like, what is the point of strapping that thing on your wrist if you're just going to ignore it? 43. I know it's not cool, but I always judge people's tattoos. I can't help it. Not everyone should be tattooing people, and when the work is bad, I instantly notice. Especially anything on the face or neck. I don't care what the story is, I just think it looks terrible. I get that tattoos are personal, and it's their choice and all, but I can still think to myself, wow, that looks awful, and move on. Doesn't make it okay, but that's where I'm at. 44. I silently judge people who clearly don't try at all with how they look. You don't have to walk around like a fashion blogger, but gray sweats and a beat-up t-shirt every single day. At least try to look like you're part of society. Fruck. Put in a little effort. 45. I have a super sensitive nose, and people really don't realize how strong their scent is. Some reek of perfume so bad it makes my eyes water. But the worst of all is the people who smell like laundry detergent, like full-on walking through a Tide factory. It's way too much. 46. I can't stand seeing parents hand off candy and soda to their little kids like it's nothing. Same with junk food in general. It just feels like you're setting them up for all kinds of problems before they even hit middle school. 47. I judge people who get married young, have kids with no money, and get into those weird big age gap relationships. If someone does all three, it's usually some religious thing, usually Christian. And yeah, I judge that too while I'm at it. 48. When someone clearly has no clue how money works, it annoys me. Like, financial literacy isn't everything. But if you're just spending with no plan and don't even try to understand basics like interest or budgeting, I absolutely judge. 49. Any grown man walking around in public with his toes out, unless he's at the beach, makes me uncomfortable. Flip-flops, sandals, whatever. I don't need to see your feet while I'm trying to get through my day. 50. I always judge people who fill their whole shopping cart with garbage food. Juice with no fruit in it, boxed mac and cheese, all canned stuff, nothing fresh. I buy that stuff sometimes too, but if you're feeding your kids only that, yeah, I judge you. Hard. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe so I can keep bringing you more of these stories. Thanks for sticking around till the end. See you next time, and take care.